Welcome back, and now that sky is pretty much dried off. I have taped the paper down, but there is a bit of movement there, but I'm not too concerned about it. Okay, I haven't done anything about marking those trees there because they're going to be in quite a lot darker colour, so there's really no need to worry about masking the area off because that colour will cover the very pale of the sky. I've also changed the composition quite a bit. Apart from zooming in, I've raised the horizon so actually the tree breaks into the sky. It will also break into the dark trees at the back as well as being on the foreground. Right, I have mixed a colour of some white with some Venetian red. If you don't have Venetian red, don't worry about it. Use your next best thing, which might be a burnt sienna, maybe with a little bit of red or something. Just get as close as you can. You're looking for a sort of well, it's a coffee colour, I suppose, sort of a coffee colour. Okay, so now I've told myself which are the lavender and which are the soil. So all I'm going to do is just literally run the colour in between, and it will be contained by the masking fluid. Quite strong and quite dense. The white will make it slightly opaque. That's okay. Add a little bit of water if you like. So this is a painting to play with. Don't worry if you go up to the tape around the edge or you don't. It's not especially going to be a picture to go on a wall. We'll see how it turns out. It may well do. But the idea is for you just to have a go at painting these beautiful colours and trying hopefully some different techniques, or if you've already done them, then just exploring them a little bit more. And as I always tell my students, make sure you have mixed enough colour before you start painting. It's quite warm in here today, so it's drying off quite quickly, so I'm adding a bit more water. A bit more water just to get, if you drop it in, look, it'll do interesting things with your paint. It'll suddenly explode and push the colour out a bit more. Now, what I want to do is just that one, yeah. Remind myself which one I am doing. I'm actually going to lighten that off a bit because I've suddenly thought, I thought about it earlier and then I forgot. We want this to, although we haven't got the same staggeringly obvious distance as we have here, it is still going in the distance, yeah. So keep that top end a bit paler, because as you know, things get sort of a bit misty as they go further away, and we'll bring more of the colour down here, which of course we will do when we, oops, got a rogue hair there. Excuse me a minute while I get that out. Don't worry about the odd bit because the lavender is going to be pretty strong, I think. So this colour is going to be more intense the nearer it gets to you. I'm just using a number 8 brush for those of you who want to know. Type it there. That's too strong for up there. Let's take it out a bit and start down here. A bit in there because it's not very clear on that photograph what actually is happening around that tree. I expect there's just a bit of scrubby sort of soil. Okay, that probably should have been a narrower line to get more perspective. But what I'll do is I'll make that, yeah, that would be better. I'll make that adjustment. When that's dry, I'll rub that masking fluid off and I'll make that a steeper line so it really does look as if it's going a bit more like that. Right, I've got some colour left in my palette, so let's just put a bit more down this end. And it's quite interesting because that Venetian red is a very strong pigment. Those of you who have it or something similar, you know, some pigments are more stronger than others, and it's really, you see how it's creating, separating and creating quite an interesting line there. Let's take a bit off there and put a bit back there. So you can lift it up and move it about a bit. Watercolours are a lot more amenable than people think once you get used to them. Yeah, I like those lines there. When that's really dry, I will take the masking fluid off and then we'll do the lavender.